Alright, what's going on, everybody? Today we're taking a look at the Nitecore MH20, which is this right here. Maybe it'll focus. Yes, it will. So it's a nice little do-all kind of everyday carry flashlight. And the coolest, well, arguably the coolest thing is the fact that you can charge it with a phone charger right here, if I can get my lighting correct. There you go. You can charge it with a phone charger, and that's actually, like, when I got it, I only got it mostly for the size and the features. Like, it just seemed like a good all-around light, but that charging really, it changes the way that you're able to use it. So, what I mean by that is, first of all, this takes 18650 batteries. And not everyone's familiar with an 18650 if you don't have them already, so that's this. It's basically a big-ass lithium AA. Like, I don't have a AA laying around, but it's much bigger than a AA, but it's the same shape. And it's lithium, and they're rechargeable. And the benefit is they can output a lot more power for a lot longer. And if you don't buy a cheap one, they're safe. If you buy a cheap one, then who knows, your flashlight can explode. That's why they have those problems with the vapes. I don't vape, but you know, if you do, don't buy cheap batteries for your vape, because shit'll blow up. But anyways, back to the review on here, on the light. You can think of this as a alternative to a zebra light, maybe like a tactical zebra light. If you don't know what a zebra light is, it is a very popular flashlight. The people who have them absolutely adore them, usually, because of the user interface. And a user interface is something that's kind of weird to talk about with a flashlight, but zebra lights have this one button, and that controls everything. It controls the modes, it controls turning it on and off, and Nitecore has gone and improved, well, you can argue that they improved it by adding a dual layer, like, it's a camera button, basically. You can press it down halfway, and it'll do a function, and then you can press it down all the way and it does a function. And that's how you change modes. So if you press and hold it halfway, it turns it on low. Well, it's not called moonlight mode, but it's like a moonlight mode. It's 1 lumen. It's for, like, if you're getting up in the dark, you don't want to blind yourself, you just hold it down halfway, and you won't blind yourself or anyone else around you, which is really useful. And then if you half tap it again, it runs through the modes, just like that, which is nice. I like that a lot. I like the concept even more than I like the light. It has very minor flaws, which I'll cover later, but onward with the light itself. It has this clip. Let me see if I can make it focus on the clip. It has that clip right there that is removable. I use it every day. I work in a factory and I just keep this in my pocket. It's a deep carry clip, so it doesn't stick out of your pocket except this very small amount. You can see there. I mean, so you can grab it so it doesn't just get lost in your pocket. But it's just small enough that you can carry it like that. If it was any bigger around, it would be quite uncomfortable, but this size is okay. If they could magically make the thing this big around, this part here, if they could make it the whole way like that, that would be great. But then you would lose the beam shape and all that. It's just, can't really do that. So they've done good with what they have to work with. It doesn't have a tail switch, so if you like tail switches, I like them, but I found that I don't really miss them at all with this light, because you can still operate it like this. Like, you can use a finger like this. It's not convenient, but that's not what this light's made for, really. It's made just as an EDC type light. I mean, I carry it to work every day. That's what I use it for. And it does a great job as that kind of light. Now, as far as the user interface goes, I'll walk you through it real quick. It takes a while to get used to, but it's not complicated once you know how to use it. So, from off, you have access to 3 things. First of which is a little, like, beacon mode. Like, if say you're in a cave, and, like, you're gonna sleep in said cave, well, you would do this every time you turn your flashlight off, so you don't wake up in oh shit, where's my flashlight? Now I'm gonna die in this cave. No, you know where it is now. You can find it. So I can see where this would be really useful. My only complaint is I don't like the way you access it, because it's so easy to just half press this, and then you have this thing flashing all the time, which it doesn't take much battery, apparently. But still, I don't like the fact that it's so easy to access. On my EA41, which is also a Nitecore, you have to hold 2 buttons down. It has like a dual button here, like one on top, one on bottom. I like that system a little bit better than this. I wish they would have put it on here. But this also works, and each one has its benefits and downfalls. But going along with this one, the second thing you have access to is ultra low, which is that 1 lumen mode. And you just hold it down, like from off, you just hold it down halfway, and then it turns on like that. Even if you've had it on a higher mode, if you turn it off and hold it down, there you go. You have your ultra low mode. Another thing that you can do is you can hold it down all the way and it'll go on to full. So there you go. That's full. I assure you it's much brighter than it looks in here. This is a medium well lit room. I'm gonna do some beam comparisons. It gets warm. Like if I turn it on ultra high like this, like I mean you can see it through my hand. And that's kind of burning a little bit. It's really bright. It's 1,000 lumens, I believe. If it's not 1,000, it's very, very close to it. I'm not sure if it's the 2016, 2017 edition, if that's a thing with this one. It might have been another one. But this is the latest version of it at the time of this review being posted. So, yeah, you can look that up if you need to. Alright, so now once the flashlight is on in whatever mode you want it to be in, you halfway press the thing to get through each mode, and it just cycles like that, and it'll just keep doing that. And if you want to get to strobe, you can hold it down while it's on, and it'll do that. You cannot access strobe from off. That's the thing. If you're into those tactical lights where you can access strobe from off, I'm sorry, this is not your light. But I don't really care. I don't need it. If you do need that in a tactical situation, don't get this. But the strobe mode is very good on it, I'll have to say. I'm just going to do that because that gets annoying. But you have multiple strobe patterns. And this one here is the one that I find, like, I'm very grateful that this light has this function. It's beacon mode, and it just sits here and blinks like this. It doesn't take up much battery. You can see it from a long ways away. And if you ever get stuck somewhere where, you don't know if someone's going to be able to find you, having that beacon mode is, you know, that can save your ass. Legitimately. And it'll do that for a long time too. And how you get to those other modes is if you have it on, hold the button down all the way to get to strobe, and then you can just cycle through the patterns by half pressing it, just like you would the normal modes. And then when you turn it off, turn it back on again, it goes back to the mode that you were in before you hit strobe. And, you know, you can still cycle through all the modes like that. It also has mode memory, so if you turn it off, it goes back to that mode that you were in unless you specify ultra high or ultra low. So, sounds complicated, but it's really not once you get used to it. It just takes a day or two. That's my air conditioner. Alright, I'm about to do some beam comparisons. I'm probably going to go outside and stuff. Alright, but before I do the beam test, I need to let you know that my camera settings are going to stay the same. And what I mean by that is, you see how bright everything is here? And you see how my camera doesn't adjust when I shine a light in it? It's not going to adjust when it gets dark either. It's going to stay the same sensitivity and everything. So you'll get a good judgment of how bright this actually is in the dark. Alright, so now it's dark. You can see my computer over there lit up. Camera has the same everything, sensitivity, ISO, just everything's the same. So you can really tell how bright or dim this is. So what we're seeing here is the ultra low mode, the 1 lumen mode. And it is just very, very slightly too bright, in my opinion. Because when you wake up at night, you kind of don't realize how bright 1 lumen is. But, you know, it's not bright enough that I regret purchasing the light. It's just, I wish it was very slightly dimmer. Now, moving up to the next brightest, you can see that was quite a jump. It could be a little bit dimmer, and those two are basically the only complaint I have about this light. There's my dog. And moving on up, we have this. At this point, it illuminates pretty much the entire basement. And then a little bit brighter, and there's turbo, which is really surprisingly bright for this tiny little thing that it's coming out of. And we're about to go outside and you can get a better feel for it. This is just like if you were maybe a security guard, you can see what it does indoors. And this mode here, it's impressive because it runs for like over a day straight like this. Just continuous runtime. And you can just like get in your truck and charge it if you want. It's great. So I'm gonna go outside. Alright, so we're now outside, and let me show you what we're working with. We have a tree quite a long ways over there, tree line all the way down here, driveway, side of the house. That's what we're working with. So here's ultra low. You can see the beam patterns, pretty nice. And here's the next highest. Pretty good for just general, like, walking around. There's a firework. It's almost the 4th of July. So next highest, you can start to see a long ways with this. And again, the camera is adjusted for indoor light, so it's like, this is like your eyes haven't adjusted to the dark yet. Trying to keep it focused. And you can already see like a long ways away over there. And then second to highest, see very long ways. I don't know if the camera picks this up, but I can see way far away. And then there's turbo, which isn't, it's not a whole lot better, but it's something. It's a good bit more. As you can see, it's very bright on something close. You see the beam pattern, I think, maybe. But yeah, that pretty much concludes the review. I hope it was helpful. Yeah, I might have an Amazon affiliate link in the description. If I don't, there'll be links somewhere, so go and buy it if you want it. If you don't, then don't. But I'll see you guys in the next video, and thanks for watching.